I can remember an instance where, you know, as I'm unloading the supplies off the helicopter and literally handing it to the villagers who desperately needed them. You could see by the look on their faces the gratitude that they were, you know, feeling, that we were there to help them in their time of crisis. At the time that you're doing things like this, I think words aren't really needed.
We know why we're here, and it's for a good cause, so we have to do our job and get done right, fast.
Okay, stop.
This is absolutely one of our best missions. When you get to go out, see a different land, help a different people, someone that actually needs help. This is pretty much where the money is.
Even as many of these I've done in the past, this was probably the most rewarding mission I've ever had. Just knowing that you're making that impact, because that C-130 lands on a ramp where people that are destitute and out of, you know, down on their luck are all around the ramp there, and you know that they're looking at what's coming off the back of that aircraft, knowing that they're getting help.
By February, American military aircraft had flown more than 3,600 missions and delivered over 9,400,000 pounds of relief supplies. The immediate humanitarian crisis was over. The daunting long-term challenge of rebuilding structures and helping reconstruct lives was taken over by local governments, the United Nations, and non-governmental organizations.
Proud of what I was able to bring to the mission. I mean, not overly, you know, like it's just me. I know it takes all of us to do it, but just knowing that they got the relief and they're being taken, you know, and their spirits are being uplifted because everybody just added so much to it, and it's unbelievable how we pull together. Even though we have the terrorism thing going on, we still put resources to the tsunami relief, and it's just amazing. I'm proud of that.
As just a person, not just a soldier, it really warmed my heart to go down and do as much as I possibly could to aid in the relief of the suffering for the individuals in those areas.
A year later, the pace of rebuilding is slow. Many in the region still live amidst the rubble, others in tent cities. But people are getting food and clean water, and schools are open. Life is beginning to return to normal, but the scars will remain for years. And for at least one American service member, there are bittersweet memories of Operation Unified Assistance.
What I think all of us felt really good about was we took the tools of war and we used them to save lives and to mitigate human suffering. I can only imagine what it must have felt like in the moments after that wave subsided. The sheer hopelessness of people, the loss of mothers and fathers and sons and daughters and brothers and sisters and whole families being killed by that wave. And I can only imagine how hopeless people felt. And when we were able to bring them not just food, water, and medical care, but I think more fundamentally hope, and try to stand them up, get them on their feet, and point them on a path to recovery. And the look on their faces is across the board is one I will not forget.
American service members ended 2005 answering another pressing call for humanitarian aid in Asia. On October 6th, an earthquake rocked the mountainous province of Kashmir, governed by Pakistan. It was devastating, measuring 7.6 on the Richter scale, the same magnitude as the famous 1906 San Francisco quake. More than 73,000 were killed. About 3 million were left homeless. Most were in very high, very remote areas.
The only aid some of these villages are getting are coming in on helicopter because the roads are totally destroyed.
The whole mountain just slid away and filled this whole valley up. It's pretty unbelievable out there.
The first American military response team was on the ground within 48 hours of the earthquake. In the early stages of Operation Lifeline, equipment and manpower were drawn from forces in neighboring Afghanistan. The pace of the relief effort was intense.
We're on pace right now to do over a 10,000-hour a year on 12 aircraft, when a lot of units only do about 9,000 on 16 in a combat zone. So the op tempo is very high, and keeping these aircraft flying is probably our biggest challenge.
By December 1st, 250 different military aircraft had taken part in the relief effort. The American military was part of a larger international response involving many countries. At least once, the U.S. Air Force lent some airlift expertise to Iranians, who'd also come to help.
A Soviet-made IL-76 came in. It's an Iranian airplane, and they had a load problem that they couldn't figure out. So they came to the Americans and asked us for help. Without a moment's hesitation, we said absolutely. Because it's not about, right now, about politics. I'll leave that for Washington and Tehran to figure out. It's about helping people. Last night I was told one of the schools up in Masafabad collapsed. There were 400 elementary kids in it, and they got 46 kids out. I don't care about the fin flash on these airplanes. I'm going to help these people.
Units from at least 9 states were sent to Pakistan. Among them, Navy Seabees from Gulfport, Mississippi. Many of them had lost their own homes to Hurricane Katrina.
We all felt that we should have been back home in Mississippi, taking care of our families, our friends, our home states. But being here, helping out these people, seeing their appreciation, it makes me feel good about being here.
As the harsh mountain winter approached, many of those left homeless began to trek down to lower ground. But with hundreds of thousands of people still living in remote areas, there was growing concern about the delivery of supplies and the spread of disease. At year's end, more than half of the deployed American service members were medical personnel.
Did he explain to you that we weren't able to save all of your leg?
I really have a very poignant sense in being here and dealing with these folks of what it is to really have problems, to really be in need.
A lot of my patients are coming in here, they're saying we're going home, we're telling our folks what a great job you're doing. And they keep saying the word insaniyat, humanity. Americans have humanity.
This is one of those great opportunities where you get to be part of the Army but get to do peacetime work and humanitarian aid and provide care to people that really, really, truly need it.
This is a strategic moment in time where we demonstrate what the U.S. people are all about, and that is caring and helping other people in need.
2005 was ending as it had begun, with American military personnel helping the victims of a natural disaster in Asia. 1,200 service members remained in Pakistan as part of the relief effort. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld says they'll stay as long as they're needed.
Think of the nature of that earthquake disaster. 73,000 Pakistanis dead, and hundreds of thousands homeless in the winter up in these high altitudes. And our folks are over there with the field hospitals and helicopters providing assistance in a way that is having an impact on the Pakistani people and on Muslims in that part of the world, recognizing that the United States does care about them and does want to be helpful.
Up ahead, historic public elections, the first in years in both Iraq and Afghanistan.